What up, Hammer?
What it do? Back in business, getting some work done. Not so much on my fantasy teams, but you know the drill.
Back for the Monday night recap. Bartolot's still missing on us here, but
I spoke to him today. He said he was getting on. He was gonna make an appearance, but he's flaky, so I wasn't gonna believe it until I saw it.
How about Jarvis Landry fucking dropping that touchdown? He should have had.
Well, I have Jarvis Landry on my Dynasty team. I wasn't gonna play him, but I thought he was gonna be so much better, but he's obviously can't stay on the field, and he's just had one good game really the whole season.
Yeah. That old age be hitting.
Yeah, but I thought I don't know. I just felt like he would be a good receiver. He never really relied on like speed or anything like that. So I thought a good possession receiver with Olave on the other side. I thought, all right, this could be a good combination. Jameis Winston obviously not being around, I think, is a big factor in why he hasn't been as good as I thought he was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Red Rocket could sling it a little bit.
He can, but I don't know.
It's just what happens when you get old. It's hard to stay on the field, number one. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
keeps getting hurt, and a lot of times that drop off just comes hard body. It doesn't,
Yeah,
it doesn't come slowly.
I hear that. I mean, I'm watching this game right now. I actually just threw it on. I caught a little bit of it. The Saints, they got the Bucs number. Like, they're just their nemesis, dude. And it's 10-3, end of the third, basically. And the Saints are driving for more.
Yeah. I mean, everybody got the Bucs number almost this year.
But it seems like the Saints just have their number no matter what.
Yeah, no, that's true. This is true. But, yeah, I mean, Brady's still...
Not doing a lot.
Yeah, but that's why sometimes in Dynasty we always say, better off giving them up a year early than a year late.
Mm-hmm.
So Brady just garbage. Who else falls into that?
Russell Wilson.
Oh. Especially if you went like bought up to go get Russell Wilson, and whether it was Superflex or even.
I feel like we can't throw Aaron into that mix just yet, but I think where he was drafted, he was way overdrafted or maybe overvalued. I guess that's the better word. But Aaron hasn't been terrible. He hasn't been great, but he hasn't been terrible like Russ and Tom.
Yeah. Jeff, what up, Jeff? What up? I'm screwed at QB since I have Lamar and Watson. Should pick off Goff, Kirk, or Huntley.
Well, to be honest with you, and we talked about this last week before the game, that we would wait a week on Deshaun Watson if you had better options. I think he'll be much better this coming week. I don't know if I like any of those other options more than Deshaun in his second game. They're not in Houston, so I think there won't be as much pressure to get out there. So to be honest with you, I'd rather play Watson, but I understand Goff had a really nice game. He would probably, out of those three, if you decided you wanted to go with one of them, I'd probably go with Jared Goff out of those three in terms of just steady fantasy production, because they can score points, and Jared Goff's actually been pretty good, relatively speaking.
Yeah. You don't like Huntley? I don't mind Huntley. I mean, he did pretty decent last year. He runs the ball too, so he gives you at least that floor.
No, I do like Huntley, but if these are the three options, Jared Goff is the better option.
Yeah, I guess. But we've seen, that Lions team get stumbled with like nothing, a few times. And
But Jared Goff has been pretty solid. I mean, last week 340, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. The week before that, 240, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So he hasn't thrown an interception since week 9. So he's actually been pretty good as far as that goes. So I kind of like Jared Goff. Healthy Amon-Ra, Jameson. It looks like Swift has found himself a nice role where he could kind of stay healthy. They're giving Jamal Williams that goal line work. DJ Shark, Jameson Williams should be coming back soon. So I do like Goff. You can make a case for Kirk Cousins, but he's underwhelmed me in certain situations. I know they played against a really good Jets defense. But I just like Jared Goff because he's pretty consistent. They got some good weapons there, and they throw the ball. And if it's a negative game script, that's even better for you because he's going to throw it more.
Yeah. I mean, you can make a case for any of those guys. Hammer mentioned about Goff. I mean, Kirk has got JJ, so he's still going to be, at least decent. And then Huntley could give you at least a solid floor just because of his rushing. So.
Mm-hmm.
You could go that way as well. I probably still wouldn't play Watson until he shows me something, until he at least has one decent game, because he just looked bad. He missed on a couple throws, but
that was to be expected.
Yeah, no, it was definitely. But yeah, I would wait until Watson shows me something before I just believe in all that. But yeah, I wouldn't mind playing any of those other guys. So it just depends who you like best out of those guys.
And we could even take a look at the matchups. So Jared Goff is actually going against Minnesota next week.
Yeah, that's
Kirk Cousins going against the Lions. And then Baltimore is at Pittsburgh.
It's all kind of decent matchups. Yeah, I mean, if you want the floor, I guess Huntley. But yeah, if you do Goff or Kirk, that has potential to be a high-scoring game. So, Swift looks like he's back into it. So, you said he has Amon-Ra. Yeah, so in that case, you probably just might as well.
It's a nice little stack, yeah.
And just roll it that way. Now, if they don't do good, you're fucked. But I mean, against a Minnesota defense that isn't really that good, especially in the passing.
In a potentially high-scoring game.
In the passing department, which could potentially be a high-scoring game, like we saw. Didn't we have a high-scoring game against them like earlier in the season? Or
I'll tell you right now.
So shit, man.
Where am I? Let's see. But yeah, either way, to be honest with you, I think that Kirk or Goff are really good options. I think regardless, I probably lean towards Goff 28-24 in late September, but still plenty to go around there. Goff, 1 touchdown, 1 in tow, 277. Kirk was pretty good, 260, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So take from that what you want.
Yeah, I mean, you could roll with Goff. I just hate when they keep getting, again, like Amon-Ra got tackled at the 1 and they fucking bang it in with Jamal.
But we've seen that, so we shouldn't be surprised. We've seen that for 3 months now.
Shout out to Jamal though for running a touchdown with my guy's cleats that he made for him. I don't know if you saw that on Instagram, but yeah, Jay the Plug made the cleats for him, the second pair of cleats for him that he's made this season. And again, he scored a touchdown wearing the cleats that were made. So that is
that's about as good as advertising as you're gonna get.
right. Jackson, what up, my guys? No hairline, Steven, gambling degenerate Hammer. Yep, we are in the building.
Back in the mix
with our gambler degenerate subscribers.
Right. Yo, first of all, Jackson, you can't call me a degenerate when you pop on and you're asking me for all the game lines. So we are in the same goddamn boat. But what up, Jackson? Good to see you, man. I thought Bagala was going to jump on today. I spoke to him earlier in the day. He told me he was getting on. So I'm gonna have to let him know that you asked for him, Jackson, and he hasn't delivered.
Oh, whoa. Jackson didn't ask for him. All right. I think he's getting accustomed to him not being here.
That's true. That's so true.
Christian Watson is him. Yeah,
and we will get into that. Don't you worry, Jackson.
Another nice game. Yeah, I mean, we could get into it now. Fuck it. We'll just get into everything that comes along here. Yeah, talking to us about Christian Watson, Hammer.
Man, you know what? I will say that the limited volume does make me nervous if you're talking about dynasty wise. Listen, I got Christian Watson in dynasty, and I've rode the last 3 games. I didn't play him in that 3 touchdown game against Dallas just because I didn't expect him to do that. And I kind of have a need at wide receiver. So I've been playing him the last 3 weeks, and he's literally carried me on a team that had Jamar Chase injured and has Cooper Kupp injured. And he's really just kept me in a playoff spot. I'm in the 6th spot, currently in Dynasty. Even though I took a loss this week, I'm still in the 6th spot. But Christian Watson's been awesome, man. And I think the one thing I did say, especially early on when he started scoring all these touchdowns, was they're getting him the ball. They're putting him in position to make plays. And that is why on a weekly basis, I consistently have said over the last month, he's a flex play, absolutely a flex play. So he's really good. He's really fast. I love that little end around they did with him when he had the 40-something yard touchdown run to pretty much seal the game against Chicago. We own you. So yeah, Christian Watson is really good. He's been healthy. He hasn't had any injury concerns over the last month plus. So he's really good. And I talked about it too. That 3 touchdown game against Dallas, that was the confidence game. You know what I mean? And now that he has the confidence on both sides, really, Aaron Rodgers has confidence in him, and he has confidence that he could go out there and make big time plays. It's just really awesome to see. And I truly hope that Aaron sees that along with Lazard. Lazard is still being productive, maybe not as productive, in terms of touchdowns and stuff, but Lazard is still a really good receiver. He's productive. Robert Tonyan's a good tight end. Obviously, we know about the 2 running backs. So I really do think that this may sway Aaron in terms of seeing, okay, now I got some real weapons to work with, another offseason. But yeah, man, Christian Watson's awesome. And they're using him in positions where he could do damage. And bro, 8 touchdowns in 4 games. That'll carry you for a nice stretch, and it certainly helped me. So you can't argue with the results, and he's got the confidence now, and I think they got the confidence in him.
Yeah, they're looking for him, or Aaron's looking for him at least down, in the red zone. Even on the touchdown that he had, it was kind of like a broken play. Aaron extended it a little
50-50 ball, yeah.
Stepped up and just kind of, sling it in there.
And let him make a play, yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, obviously he'll slow down on the touchdowns eventually. I mean, maybe not, who knows? But he's at least getting the chances when they're getting down there. So,
and he's on the field. Like, he hasn't had any real injury or health concerns like he did with the first the first 2 months of the season. So him being out there consistently, it's just been good. They develop a nice rapport. And he could hit a home run on any play, and that's really awesome. So I like what I'm seeing. I'll be honest with you.
Bagala been a no-show for a minute, yeah, man, for a hot minute. I started Fields over Lamar. Never been happier to not listen to y'all.
Well, listen, we can't account for that. You know what I mean? That's something we can't account for.
Yeah, being that he got injured. I mean, Fields still did it. How many Fields? How many points did
he did run across the field on us early on
for a big.
Yeah, Justin Fields finished with 6 for 71 and a touchdown.
Huh?
6 carries, 71 yards in the TD.
No, I was talking about Justin Fields.
Yeah, Fields 6 carries, 70 yards and a touchdown.
But so altogether, yeah, I mean altogether he had 21. Didn't do that great, but he did better than obviously Lamar.
Because he had the 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
Chase Claypool again, not much.
No.
5 for 28 on 6 targets.
Yeah, we just missed that over. It was like 34 yards, I think. So let's see. Played 63% of the snaps this game. Last
you would think
he's played a little bit more, but
you would
he's
think
not out there for a ton of
You would think catching 5 out of 6 would net him more than 28. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah, I think
it's
it was
tough.
short. Yeah, it was all short, kind of.
And he lost a fumble, which hurt.
Yeah, but yeah, yeah. Good thing you didn't listen, I guess.
I mean, listen, we could tell you to play anybody over anybody if they get hurt. It's not because Lamar Jackson just played terrible for a whole game. He got hurt, and it's just the luck of the draw sometimes. Jimmy Garoppolo, I know a couple of people had started him, due to bye weeks and injuries. So if you played Jimmy G, kind of fucked you. I played Jimmy G in your home league, Steve, and because I had Kyler Murray on the bye, and that was kind of when I had to win the last 2 games to even have a shot. And my season is over in your league officially, so that fucking sucks. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Jimmy G, obviously going down. They said they're not sure exactly. I don't know what it was, but
Broken foot.
so he's pretty much
He's
done.
done for the season. He's got a broken foot.
And are they going to just stick with who was the QB they had?
Purdy.
Did they stick with Purdy?
Yeah. What else?
Purdy. Yeah, there you go.
No.
Jackson.
Yeah. Don't give me Baker Mayfield. I don't want to hear that.
You got Purdy. I mean, yeah, there were talks about the Baker Mayfield thing. So they released the Panthers released him because he thinks he's got a shot at least. But I don't know. I mean, at this point in the season, to bring in a QB and for him to learn everything, and he's not like, not a
trash.
QB. What's it worth even trying to do that as an organization? Like,
trash.
You might as well roll with the guy that's been at least taking second team snaps all year and knows the playbook and shit. And I mean, it's not like Jimmy G was a world beater. He just like played the game, managed the game.
He won games. He won games.
He didn't lose you games. He tried to not turn the ball over.
And he knows how to run. He knows how to run that offense. That's the bottom line.
And that's all that Purdy needs to do. And they might be, okay at least. We shall see. But yeah, what do you do now if you were rolling with Jimmy G?
I mean, it really depends what the options are out there. I'm sure like a Jared Goff, a Huntley, maybe. In a 1 QB league, it's not so bad. But if you're in a 2 QB league, or super flex, that is brutal because, in those leagues, quarterbacks, go like hotcakes. So, even if you can't make a trade, it's getting pretty rough out there for sure.
Yeah, I think Jimmy G's done for like ever.
I wouldn't say for the season, and he's probably not going to be a 49er next year. So,
oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Does he get a starting job somewhere next year though? I don't know.
Yeah, I would imagine. I heard talk of him maybe going to the Jets or something like that. So I would imagine he would find a place. I think he's better than like 12 other quarterbacks. You know what I mean? 15 other quarterbacks.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, it sucks for 49er fans just losing.
That team looked like it was ready to go. Yeah, Trey Lance and Jimmy G.
Excited about Trey Lance and starting the season, and then obviously he goes down, and then you've got Jimmy G coming. Well, first there was a whole big debacle about, oh shit, like we got Trey Lance and Jimmy G. Like, what's the deal here? Like, who's the QB?
And it worked itself out.
And yeah, and it just happened to work itself out, and then Jimmy G had to come in, and now obviously he goes down. So 49er fans just gotta be fucked. I mean, they gotta be upset. I know I'd be upset. Shit.
Yeah, it's a bad situation. And it got worse, obviously, because, both of your quarterbacks got hurt.
Yeah, and Debo's been a little banged up as well. So.
I think they still have enough to make a playoff run. They destroyed Miami even without Jimmy G, which surprised the hell out of me, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that defense and those skill players clearly can carry that team. So I think they'll be fine. But, once you get to the playoffs and you got to play the Eagles or the Cowboys, I don't really count the Vikings because they're fugazi.
Yeah, we wish. Rolling out another dub for the.
Oh, please. Yeah, by the skin of your teeth, bro. You could have easily lost that game.
All there is a W in the win.
Yeah, no, but when we're projecting out, we're talking about
that's good. That means we're coming out on top in close games. Yeah,
coming out on top. Get out of here, dude.
The Packers know nothing about this year.
I'm
Anyway.
glad you put it. I'm glad you put this year, and we've actually been playing better the last couple of weeks.
Oh man, Jackson said, "F you, Hammer." Vikings are better than the Packers have ever been. Yeah, we
all right. Settle down, Sparky. The Packers have won Super Bowls. The Vikings have not.
Who is your top 5 wide receivers for the rest of the season?
Yeah, that's a pretty solid question. I mean, you got to go with the young guns. Chase and Jefferson obviously got to be 1-2 there. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, AJ Brown, kind of the first top 5 guys that kind of come to mind. Remember, we had that little stretch there with AJ Brown where people were losing their mind. You know, Devontae Adams, you got to throw him in there because he's just been on an absolute tear.
Yeah, Devontae Adams
is a beast.
I had him going into the season, I think number 6. I had him out just outside the top 5. And it's like that team, like they're so garbage that like they just find themselves having to throw all the time.
But that doesn't take away from how good Devontae is.
I'm not. Nobody's taking it away. And they're just throwing bambooskis to fucking Devontae Adams. And he's just
doing what he does.
Holding shit in. No, Devontae, I mean, the talent was never the question. The question was, would Carr be able to still get him the football? Like if they were winning, like Waller was still healthy and like Renfro was still healthy, like maybe it would be different. And, but right now he's the only guy they have. And he's going to be definitely a top 5 wide receiver the rest of the way. So definitely got to have Devontae up there. Definitely got to have JJ up there. Definitely got to have Diggs up there, right?
Diggs. Yeah, Tyreek, Waddle, Chase.
No, not Waddle.
CD.
Not Chase. Not CD. Maybe Cheetah. St. Brown has got to be a top 5 the rest of the way, just like he was last year. If we're talking about rest of the season, I mean, now he's number 8. But yeah, I throw St. Brown as like the 5, and then I'll have who'd I have? Adams, Diggs, Jefferson, and Cheetah probably. Adams, Jefferson, Diggs, Cheetah, St. Brown, rest of the season. Boom. 5.
I like it.
I'm just looking at the
rankings.
The rankings now. CD jumps up to 6.
CD's been picking up the pace, bro. And now with Michael Gallup coming into form, I just think that offense is just putting up numbers. So CD is definitely, you could really make an argument for 8-9 guys to be in there. You know what I mean? Just based on the offense they're in, what their offense currently looks like, But for me, it's definitely Jefferson, Chase, Devontae, Tyreek Hill, and then you could throw any combination of St. Brown, AJ Brown, Diggs, any combination of those guys. I think it's really hard to separate one, from the other, just, off the top. So that's kind of those top 4 guys, though, I really do like in terms of rest of season.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'm going to throw Christian Watson in there. Let's go. Hey, listen, he's been one of the best wide receivers production-wise over the last month. So he's not on those guys' level, but you get my drift. I just don't like the limited amount of targets that he sees to sustain that, It's like if he doesn't cash in on one of those targets, it's going to be It's going to be tough. All those other guys are getting, 8, 9, 10, 12 targets.
Yeah. I mean, the top 10 wide receivers are all averaging 14 points per game and up. Like CD,
Right.
AJ, St. Brown, 15. Then you got D Hop and Chase, 16, almost 17. JJ, Tyreek, 18. Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs, and then 19 right now.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp would be in there, but obviously he's probably not going to play.
No, he probably is not coming back. There's no reason for him to come back. Anywhere on the person dropping their team? No, I don't know anybody that's dropping a team in the Dynasty League. But if there is,
Usually that'll happen once the season finishes up. But I think we got some pretty solid people in there now. We had a bunch of vacancies last season. We had like 3 or 4 that we had to fill. That would have been obviously a good opportunity, Jackson, for you to sign on with us. But I'm sure we'll do a subscriber league. I'm definitely down for that.
Yeah, we'll do a subscriber dynasty and a subscriber redraft. We'll do one of each.
All right.
Whoever wants to join.
That's a lot.
I mean, you don't have to be in it if you don't want. Everybody's asking. Subscribers are asking. So we'll definitely
I understand.
Definitely make a league. We'll definitely make a league for it. Hammer's a little bit of a wuss. He only wants to play in like 3 leagues. No,
that's not true.
It does get difficult when you play in more than just a few leagues. Like for me this year, like I struggled on like waiver wires. Like it was so hard for me to get like waiver wires in between, putting out, the content and running Instagram shit and just trying to, do all of my teams. Like I struggled the most on waiver wires. Like setting my lineup, I was fine, but like waiver wires, I found
trades.
And trades as well was like really hard for me to do. Like I didn't really do any trades in my other 2 home leagues, which I usually do. But yeah, I just didn't really get a chance to. I didn't have the time to. So that is, something that does happen. But yeah, I'll run a league for both definitely. If Hammer don't want in, it's all good. You got dibs on both. All right, Jackson, I got you, bro. But yeah, we got a couple. We got a few dynasty ones that already won in. So
I'll find myself in there. I'm just saying.
We have a nice dynasty. We're running it. We're running a nice one, baby. Super flex, fucking multiple flexes. We're going in. We're going hard.
All right.
We're going hard. Tamian, what up, my guy?
Oh,
16 man, love it. 2 QB, have Pickett, Huntley, and Purdy are available. Do I move on from Pickett?
That seems tough, though. It's considering 32 quarterbacks need to play. Wait a minute, hold on. There's not 32 quarterbacks because of bye weeks and shit. So how does that work?
You're fucked. It is what it is, bro.
That's why wild.
Guys. Huntley and Purdy are available. Do I move on? I wouldn't say move on because Pickett at least is going to be the starter for the rest of the season. Huntley, we don't know when Lamar's coming back. I mean, I like Huntley, but yeah, bye week suck. Tammy, I say, yeah, it's gotta definitely. And I think that's why like the modern generation has moved now towards the super flex instead of really
just in case.
QB. Because if you don't got the QB to play, it just makes it a little bit more like, okay, you can play somebody else,
Right.
And then there's different, strategies. Like, is that second QB as important to you? It should be because mathematically it is.
Right.
But then, people have different ways that they want to look at it. So, but yeah, I wouldn't say to drop Pickett or move on from him. Purdy, I mean, how really good is this guy Purdy? I really didn't see it. Let me see what it.
He played well. He played well.
You
gotta see what he did.
25 or 37, 210. Yeah, I mean, listen, he's on a great offense. He's got great skill players. It's not like Jimmy G was a world beater, like I was saying earlier. So all he's got to do is just protect the football, get the ball to those playmakers, and kind of let them do their thing. So I don't mind either of those guys, Huntley or Purdy, but I probably wouldn't just drop Pickett or get rid of him.
No, neither would I.
Just in case. So Unless you're me and you're amazing, you have a losing record. You have a losing record. Listen, it happens. It happens, Tamian. Guys, make sure you hit that like and subscribe first if you haven't yet. Appreciate y'all. But yeah, that's nice. 16 man. Woof. All right, no, Steve, you're gonna send bogus ass off for saying he deserves the players for organizing the league. No, I don't do shit like that. Not for organizing.
Yes, he will, Jackson. He'll find a way to do something. So you'll see.
But whether they're bogus, that's just an opinion. Okay.
No, that's not an opinion. That's a fact, Jackson. It's a fact.
Oh God. But yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Hey Animal, what up, my guy? I'm trying to put a package together for Henry. All right. What are we doing? What are we doing for Henry here? Brock will be hitting CMC out of the backfield. Who is that? I don't know who that is.
Brock Purdy.
Lamar will turn it around. Oh, he's saying Brock Purdy is going to be hitting CMC out of the backfield.
And he's already done that. Yeah.
Yeah, he could be. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You think Kamara will turn it around? I don't know. He's got a tough schedule. The offense is just doo-doo. They've got just nothing outside of Olave. It's a
shit show.
It's rough. If you can get rid of him, I'd get rid of him. But it just hasn't been good lately. I don't know how much better it's going to get. Now, granted, he is one of those guys kind of like, Mixon, where all of a sudden he can have a fucking 4 or 5 touchdown game. But it's very low likely on this.
But listen to this, dude. Since really that big game in week 8 against the Raiders, so you're looking at a 5-game sample, 7.6, 10, 4, 4.
Yeah, garbage. RB 15.
Right. And where you picked him, that's not going to get it done.
Yep. And the O-line is real bad. Yeah, man. Everything is just bad over there right now. Everything. Damian Pierce is kind of, another one, 11.8 points per game, but RB 14, cooled down from earlier at RB2. RB2. But it's just unfortunate his situation with that crappy there. Your birds are killing it. Who are you, the Eagles? Eagles? Is that?
I would imagine.
Is that shit bird? No. Yeah, Eagles. Yeah, listen, my Vikings, we eat Eagles.
They lost to the Eagles. They got spanked by the Eagles.
Yeah, that was early in the season, bro. We weren't into form and whipped up into shape yet.
Doesn't matter. You lost.
The Eagles ain't fucking with us, bro. We're gonna see them in the NFC ship. That'll be nice. That'll be a nice little ship.
The Vikings will lose like they always do.
Yeah, okay. You're such a hater, bro.
I have no reason to be jealous of any Vikings fan ever.
That's the O-lineman in the NFL. Could be a possibility. I won't argue that. How about Kenneth Walker? What's the latest on Kenneth Walker?
Yeah, they said so. I actually followed
his foot.
Yeah, so they said it's a low ankle sprain, meaning he can miss a week max, or he potentially will miss a week maximum.
He hasn't been ruled out yet for this week.
Right, exactly. So they said he could play, but there's a high chance of re-injury with that if he plays this week or this next game. So, if the Seahawks are smart, I know they're in the playoff race. They're in the heat of the wild card race in the NFC. So, Tom Brady's just getting ragdolled by the Saints. 3 points. I love it. But yeah, it looks like he'll be ready to go in a week. He'll probably miss one game maybe. So there's no real major damage done there, which is kind of good news because he's been that guy that, if you drafted late or you picked him up off of waivers after, whatever penny went down, that was kind of found gold there. So.
What? We knocked
That's
you guys
pretty.
out on our way to Super Bowl, bro. Yeah, listen. Sorry for the Caps. It's all good. I thought you were, I know you're like yelling at me, fucking Lane Johnson's the best.
And you know what was really funny about that year?
Lane Johnson is the best O lineman in the NFL.
Right now. But you know what was funny about that year that the Eagles beat the Vikings? Like, that was the year Carson Wentz went down and, Nick Foles took over. And I expected the Vikings to win that game. Like, I didn't expect the Eagles to beat the Vikings. So, yeah. But the Vikings, that's what the Vikings do. They fold when it matters most. We've seen that before.
Yeah, our defense is kind of garbage, and our kicker usually fucks it up somehow. I respect the Vikings. Listen, I respect the Eagles in all honesty. I've always been, a fan of the Eagles. I mean, even back when they went and got Mike Vick. I mean, even before that, like
Donovan,
McNabb and Westbrook and Jeremy Maclin. I mean,
Deshaun Jackson.
I mean, I go back to Chuck Foreman 44. Jeez.
Yeah, we
Damn, man. Hey, Animal. Appreciate you joining in with some young bucks here. But damn. Damn. But yeah.
The earliest Eagles stuff I remember was Randall Cunningham days before he went.
Yep. And then he was on the
Reggie.
But
And Reggie White was on the Eagles before he went to Green Bay. So that's the earliest Eagles I physically remember, obviously.
Yeah, Westbrook was the shit. I mean, that was pretty much our prime back in the day was, was basically that, McNabb and Westbrook. Maclin, Michael Vick was, I think, a little after that. But, when Michael Vick was on the
Falcons,
just running around like crazy. He's got a documentary coming out. Definitely want to see that. Shannon Sharp had an interview with him. You could catch that on YouTube, but that was pretty nice. 63, my guy, 63 and a bowl. But I'm in the gym every day. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Love.
Hell yeah.
Randall Cunningham. Yeah, bro. Randall Cunningham was awesome, bro. He was awesome.
That 98 Vikings team did more damage.
Vikings, that was crazy, bro. That definitely was. What else were we talking about? We went over Jimmy G, Kenneth Walker. I mean, there's DJ Dallas. I guess you got to go get.
I don't love it.
What are we doing? Can't really get anybody. If he misses, I mean, almost just don't even play anybody that could be in that backfield.
Yeah, no, I'm not crazy about DJ Dallas. I mean, he runs hard and he, obviously knows the offense, but I'm not crazy about running out and getting DJ Dallas. I'd rather see who else I have. Yeah. Maybe you have a James Conner, maybe you have a Brian Robinson, maybe you have a Gibby, maybe you have, a Tony Pollard. Maybe you have some. I'd rather play Tony Pollard than DJ Dallas, that's for damn sure.
Yeah. Or Zonovan Knight.
Right.
From the Jets.
Right.
Somebody
Jarek McKinnon, a Pacheco, something like that, on a, but the Seattle's a pretty good offensive team, but I just wouldn't like it.
Yeah. Hey, Animal, you told this joke the other night. I think I remember. When you're banging your cousin from the back door. What do you call the sweat on her ass? Relative humidity. Jackson, does Deshaun get any better, or is he just shit? I mean, he's not shit, but how much is he going to get better? Like, and how quickly is that going to happen? That is like the main concern. That's the main concern. So, what do you do? I wouldn't play him until he at least strings a good game together. I think that would be the way that I would approach it, because most likely you have another good or good enough quarterback to play. I mean, I doubt you went in, went in with who, I don't know, whoever you had as your starter. I'm sure you had somebody better or at least decent to get you by up until now. I would hope so, at least. But does he get any better? I don't know. Hammer, does he get any better?
I think he does, but relative to what, right? Relative to what he was the last time we saw him play 2 years ago, relative to whatever you have on your bench or whatever other, options you have, like what relative to what? So, is he going to be a top 5 guy for the rest of the season? I'd probably say no. Top 10, maybe. I don't know. We were on the fritz about whether to start him even coming into this week, and we said, listen, we got to give it a week. Yeah, we said we got to give it a week. Obviously, depending on what your other options were. If your other option was Russell Wilson, I would have rolled Deshaun out there and hope for the best. You know what I mean? So it's really tough to project. I think he will be better. Like I said, considering first game in Houston with all of the BS that we know took place, over the past year plus. So I think if you have a better option, roll that better option out there. Listen, if that better option is Aaron Rodgers, you're playing Aaron Rodgers over Deshaun Watson at this point. Even though we don't, Aaron hasn't been great, he's been okay. He can hold you down, until you see Deshaun really get in sync. He kind of looked nervous. We were talking about it, before he missed some throws and, he looks off, and that's to be expected.
Yeah, like I said, it might take a few weeks for him to really kind of get it together. I mean, if he's got Cincinnati, Baltimore, New Orleans, Washington in the in the ship week, so it's not like he's got a bunch of cupcake matchups either. Baltimore's decent, at least New Orleans, Washington, so it just might take a few weeks for him to string a couple things together. Deshaun Dunn, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's rough for this year for you to really count on him. I mean, when you're talking about dynasty terms, I think you'll be fine there. But just redraft wise, I wouldn't roll him out there at least until he puts together a good game, and that might take a little bit. He's got to get used to everything. With his own team, on the actual football field in a real game where it's not just practice and guys are kind of letting you do things and shit like that. So,
yep, agreed.
Should I ride Jacobs all the way or get another heavy hitter with a better schedule?
Josh Jacobs has fucking been dynamite, dude.
Ride Jacobs, to the end. I mean, you can't not at this point. I mean, he's taking you there. Go ahead, Hammer. I know you got Jacobs, so.
I do. I have Jacobs in 2 leagues, and it's no coincidence that I'm in a playoff spot in both of those leagues. See, the guy has just been fantastic, and I think also, too, where you got Jacobs this year, he's giving you way more than you anticipated. Most people drafted him as an RB2 flex because going into the season, the Raiders didn't pick up his 5th-year option. I'm sure they're regretting that now, but I think they're trying to squeeze every ounce of juice out of that orange as humanly possible. So Rod Jacobs, man, he's an bona fide RB1 every week, and I don't think the matchup really matters. It's funny, too, because we say that team is terrible, but yet Jacobs and Devontae Adams are just awesome right now. They've actually won some games now. So, but yeah, Jacobs is really awesome. And I don't think it would behoove you to get rid of good pieces to get another bona fide running back, considering what you would have to move to get a Derrick Henry, a Christian McCaffrey, a Saquon Barkley, even a Nick Chubb, somebody like that. I don't think it's worth pillaging your team if you already have a guy that's putting up RB1 numbers. And I think he's the RB2 overall in a half PPR league. So, I would ride Jacobs. They're giving him the ball. So ride with him. And there's nobody else to take away carries there.
Yeah, and then if you do, go and trade for somebody else, and then that guy doesn't do good, then you're shooting yourself in the foot. Like, I'd rather Jacobs, and if he does bad, then he does bad. But at least, he's been doing good for you so far. So,
yep.
Okay, sold him. Keeping him. Threw a pick from his own end zone. I missed it. I don't know if I saw it. Maybe they called it back. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, no, he just he dropped it. The ball hit the ground.
Could throw Justin Fields in. Well, who are you playing?
I think does he have Deshaun?
You traded CMC for who? Jacobs or Fields? You mean?
Straight up.
But yeah, I mean, listen, you got Jacobs. You're gonna just roll with that for the rest.
Oh hell yeah!
I wouldn't change that. Now here's Lenny getting all his garbage time points. Yeesh.
Mike Evans too. So I'm smoked in Dynasty. Bullshit.
So yeah, I mean, we talked about both the Watsons. We talked about Lamar, Walker, Jimmy G. We talked about Devontae going off. St. Brown again, just maybe another tear to end the season. Is he going to do the same thing as last year now?
I don't see why not. They're scoring a ton of points.
Nothing's slowing them down.
Yeah, what's there to slow them down? And if their defense is giving up a ton of points, that's just going to mean Jared Goff has to throw. So,
listen, I thought he was done at maybe 7 for 80 yards at that point because they were up by 15, 20 almost or something like that. And I was like, damn, he's not going to get no more work. And then he wound up, I think he finished with 10 or 11 catches or some shit like that. And I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Just, there's nobody else there for him to throw the ball to. The guy just keeps getting open and Goff just keeps hitting them, bro. It's just
Return of Jamar Chase.
Hey, Animal, got to roll, guys. Hit the like and I'm already subscribed. Beautiful, bro. We appreciate
that, man. Yeah.
Hit the little notification bell so you can see when we're always on. But as you can see up top there, Monday, Friday, and Saturday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. But thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate you, brother. But yeah, I mean, St. Brown just doing his thing, could possibly go on another tear like he did last year. As he's already starting to do. And I had an argument with a guy on Facebook in this Facebook group. So it was exactly 3 weeks ago, and he has Mixon, and he goes, "Oh, I traded Mixon and St. Brown, and I got Derrick Henry, and I'm completely stoked about it. Like I just won my league." This was 3 weeks ago, and I'm like, "What? No, you didn't win. You're an idiot."
Well, I think because Derrick Henry was rumbling at that time, and I think that was part of it. Obviously,
Mixon got hurt, and he's like, "Oh, St. Brown ain't nothing. Look at the points he's putting up so far, and da da da." And I'm like, "Dude, you can't always just look at the points. There's more that goes into it." And it's like, "Oh, don't look at the points. What the fuck are you talking about?" All right, I mean. Obviously you look at the points, but that doesn't always tell the full story, right? That's what the difference when you gotta look into things. And I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, St. Brown is gonna start going off. Anyway, since those 3 weeks, St. Brown has 64 fantasy points, and Derrick Henry has 30 or 40 or something like that. But anyway, the main thing why I didn't like the trade was because the guy said that he had to play Boyd in his slot position, in his flex position now.
Mm-hmm.
Got rid of St. Brown. So he gets Henry, but now he loses, wide receiver in St. Brown. He's got to play Boyd the rest of the way. So Boyd and Henry both have 60 points combined the last 3 weeks. And St. Brown has 64 by himself. So I was like, how is that working out for you, bro?
I love that when you could look back on it and be like, yeah.
But all right. So Brady throws a touchdown to who was that? Kate Allen?
Yep.
Of course, he throws it to something nobody needs Kate Allen to score right now. Well, I'm sure.
No, but that's a Tom Brady touchdown.
But it's not,
So
big guns.
No, but all right. So I do have an issue with something. So I watched the other episode. I forgot what day it was. I think it might have been Saturday. And there was a guy on here that had some family member that was plugged into the Bengals, and said that he was only going to play, 50% of the snaps or whatever snap share. Jamar Chase played 82% of the snaps and had 7 out of 8 for 97 yards and looked like an absolute beast out there. So I just want to call that to the carpet real quick.
Well, I think he was talking more in the betting terms. Because remember, I was like, for fantasy, it doesn't matter. If he's playing 50% of the snaps, you're still going to play him. It was even reported that he was going to be held back a little bit and play a certain percent of the snaps. But I brought up the point that, if it's a close game and they're going back and forth, like, he's not just going to be sitting on the sidelines. Like, they're going to play him more than they might anticipate if the game is getting heated like that, which it
was.
Exactly what happened where, yeah, he didn't play, his usual 99 or 98% of the snaps. Maybe, he played whatever you said it was, 80?
82.
So still, it was still a lot. And, anytime a major, kind of player like that, even if they say there might be on a snap count, you still, got to play. How many times have we seen, DeAndre Hopkins on the fucking snap count?
Christian McCaffrey,
Christian
when he first got to the 49ers, yeah.
So some of those guys you just got to play. You just got to play anyway.
So yeah, I was bringing that up. The return of Jamar Chase, that's a big deal to see him out there really getting in the mix and making an impact.
He was, and he did. He definitely did. And did T. Higgins do anything? T. Higgins scored the TV
touchdown. Right? Mm-hmm. You still got to play T. Higgins either way too.
No, of course.
Hayden Hurst got hurt in that game. That was a little bit of a blow because he's been really good.
Like I mentioned a few episodes ago, I don't want him to do that great because I want to try and get him in the offseason.
Jackson, if you're out there, this is what Blanc tries to do. He's going to offer somebody like a second-round pick for T. Higgins and think it's okay.
I wouldn't do that. I'd give.
You would.
First for T. I'd give up a player and the first for T. But yeah,
I actually tried to get T. Higgins in the offseason because obviously I had Joe Burrow, I had Hopkins, Mike Williams, blah, blah, blah. And I ended up getting Jamar Chase. I sent Derrick Henry packing and I got Jamar Chase.
Fucking Kenneth Walker hurts me in this other Dynasty league I'm in. Fuck, I was rolling with Kenneth Walker and Stevenson. I got no other RBs really except for Algier.
Now the Bucks are about to make a comeback. Here we go with the bullshit.
Are they?
Yeah. They scored the touchdown. They just sacked Andy Dalton. It's like 3rd and a mile with 2:45 to go. They're gonna get the ball back.
Classic Timmy.
It looked like this season was over.
AJ Brown going ham. Don't forget about AJ Brown.
Yeah, we remember a couple of weeks ago, Blanc, we had people ready to give up on AJ Brown, and we're like, hold it, relax. He's that dude on that team with that offense and that quarterback. Relax yourself. The guy's not going to. Even the best players have off weeks. Remember, Devontae Adams had that bad week, and what's he done since?
Yeah.
So those dudes are those dudes.
How am I losing this guy got Cheetah and Devontae Adams. Like, what the fuck? So I got St. Brown, CD Lamb, and AJ Brown.
Oh my God. Taysom Hill dropped like a fucking 30-yard completion.
In this Dynasty league. And DK Metcalf, and I still fucking lost 167 to 160. What the?
Yeah, I got barbecued by Devontae Adams too. And I was in good position.
I don't have a tight end in this league. DK. I got Mike White starting in my Superflex.
Hey, that's not that bad.
I had Stafford and he fucking screwed me. I got Matt Ryan too. He's all right.
Ooh, that's hit or miss.
I got Malik Willis on the bench though for whenever he goes. But I got Josh Allen as my main QB, so I could fuck around with my second one a little bit.
Yep.
Actually, guy.
I actually picked up Mike White in my league, in the 2 QB league. And I have Herbert and Cousins. Now, I can't really play Mike White over those guys, but it's intriguing. And I had to drop Davis Mills, obviously, when he got benched. So I really like my team in my league, and I'm pushing pretty hard for a playoff spot now. It's about to be 8-5. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, just everything just did not go my way this week in Dynasty. Whether it was me, myself, or the team, things that I needed to happen that didn't happen. I mean,
Crazy, right?
yeah. Yeah, I really needed you to. If you beat Brandon, I would have been set. We would have been set.
I know. But listen,
The whole thing would have been closed out. It would have been set.
I know. Now it comes down to me versus you next week for a playoff spot. If Bod wins, if Bod loses, we're both in next week.
If who?
If Brandon Bod loses, then we're both in.
Yeah, that's if you. But he's got a good matchup. I think he's playing Rondell.
Yeah, but he's got a bunch of.
He's not going to have Jones or
Dylan and Mixon. We don't know what Mixon's deal is.
Mixon. He might be. I mean, I would guess he'd be all right by that time. I mean, 3 weeks into a concussion. I mean,
but we don't know. I didn't think I thought he would play this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a tough loss for me, honestly. And you know who fucked me? Jeff Wilson let me down big time.
I told you it was a little bit risky for coming back, but I didn't think.
But I didn't.
Risky.
But that's what I'm saying. I didn't. What the other options I had were Kenyon Drake and Algier. Like Jeff Wilson's my RB2 right now, bro.
I got some buys this week. I got some buys coming, which is I don't like the whole. We got buys like in the last 2 weeks. Like,
well, lucky for you, no Christian Watson for you next week. So
yeah, well, lucky for you, no Antonio Gibson or Drake London or Zaire Franklin. God damn it. The second leading tackler in the NFL.
Well, sucks for you.
Yeah, it does suck for me. But we'll be all right.
Joe Burrow going toe to toe with my homeboy again.
Yeah, Mahomes, I mean, 223 a touchdown. He didn't do too hot, but that's fine. We got to make it up against Denver here. We need to fucking.
Joe Burrow did work 11 carries. What?
I just got to hold Burrow and Chase. In that.
You remember what Burrow and Chase did to you last year, right?
Just got to do Burrow and Chase. Yeah, I mean, but it depends on the other guys. If Mahomes and St. Brown at least do what they do, that at least, holds that down. But
don't forget about Josh Jacobs.
Don't forget about Donta.
Donta, get the fuck out of here. I want to hear that bull jive.
Don't forget about Donta.
Yeah, man, Devontae Adams really pissed me off, dude. Because he was held in check for a while. They weren't really doing a whole lot. And then I had to run out to do some work stuff. And my messages started blowing up. Obviously, I was in command of that game for a while. And then when Derek Carr decides to go nuclear to Devontae, that just put me in a hole. And I kind of rallied back a little bit.
That was fucked. That was, what's the chances that fucking happens? Like,
yeah, I rallied back a little bit. Like, I made it a game. Like, he was just blowing my doors off. And then, Josh Jacobs had the big game, so that kind of held me down. But the Jeff Wilson game really, really fucked me, because if Jeff Wilson has, 10, 15 points, it's a ball game.
Yeah. Cowboys just laid an ass whooping, 33 points in the fourth quarter. Jeez.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, the Colts aren't that good of a team, but they got some respectable players, and I think Jeff Saturday's a decent coach, but Cowboys are fucking rolling on all cylinders. And once they smell blood in the water, that defense just started flying around and just going absolutely ham. So,
yeah. The last 2-minute drill here. How about the tie that we had, which was the Giants coming in? What the fuck?
Isn't that so Giants Commanders to do something like that?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's I thought the Giants were fugazi to begin with, because I didn't really see how much they had outside of Saquon Barkley, and he looks like he's wearing down a little bit. You know what I mean?
In on them too. They got nobody else either. So.
Yeah, he's been okay, but he hasn't been what he was the first 6 weeks. He had a big game against Houston, in week 10, but since that, his last 3 games, under 100 yards and under around 3.5 yards a carry. Still getting some touchdowns, obviously getting the targets in the passing game, so he's going to give you a steady floor, but he could be wearing down because that offense just leans way too heavily on him. They don't have any really potent outside weapons. Their tight ends really don't exist. They play good defense. This was a game I actually expected the Commanders to win. They've been playing well. They got some actual good ball players. They have 2 really good running backs. McLaurin's good. Dotson broke out a little bit, had the nice touchdown on the catch to tie the game. So I fully expected the Commanders to win this game, but they didn't. And I was actually talking to Bagala as the tie was happening, and there was furniture moving in his house.
Mm-hmm. How about Waddle? Waddle got hurt actually. As well. The Dolphins game came out and then he came back in. Says he's okay. So Tua also got hurt as well.
Oh my God! And the Bucks are about to score. Jesus.
Yeah, they're getting down there. Let's see what happens.
They just threw it to Julio at the 5. So.
Oh, you're ahead of me a little bit.
Yeah, they're down at the 5.
You're ahead of me. Yeah, just a bit. Here we go. We got a timeout left, 20 seconds and counting. Brady coming up to the line, cool, calm, and collected.
They took a timeout.
It's first down. I mean, they've got literally 4 shots. And this is going to be the game right here. So this is what Brady does best. Can he do it again at this age?
Against his nemesis.
Against the nemesis. How do you let Scotty Miller beat you on a little slant like that? Come on.
He did that to us in Green Bay in 2020, so I know what that's like.
Julio, nice catch. Nice catch. He's going to come out now for a breather. But
Godwin caught it. Godwin caught the touchdown.
No, did he? I missed. Damn, you're ahead of me. What the fuck?
Oh, flag.
I can see that, though.
Holding on the offense.
No way. And that was a beautiful fucking catch, too. Oh, Brady's going to fucking flip a gasket.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, Brady's going to flip a lid.
Because this could be their season, really. Yeah, that was holding.
Oh, how do you make that? How do you even make that call at the end of the game? Just let him play. Come on. It's the last fucking second.
Nah, you can't.
Go. Unless it was that bad. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, he got him. And the 10-yard penalty to boot. Oh, my God.
I mean, it kind of did, like, almost tackle him, but...
Oh, man. I mean, the fact that they still have a timeout means they could run at least 3 more plays.
Yeah, I mean, they can run.
Get it closer. No, bro, they're down to 12 seconds. They just...
Well, if they would have completed that and then been able
to
pull them out, then they still...
That's what I'm saying. 2 more plays. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I say they got about 3 plays here.
Yeah, it's third down. So they have 2 more. It's third and goal, so...
Third or second? I'm on second. Well, you're ahead.
They just completed one to Godwin.
And he got outside. Oh.
And he got out of bounds. Yep.
Nice. Here we go. Third goal. 2 more 8 seconds. We got 2 more plays. This is it.
And they got a timeout. So
right here. Pause your shit for a second or rewind it 5 seconds.
Nacho. Nacho.
Oh man.
I won't say anything.
What else happened in some of these? Lions just put up 40 on these niggas' heads.
Hoping they can't whoop ass.
Packers just barely kind of.
It wasn't just barely. They beat the Bears. Don't give me that. They won by 11. That's not barely. All right, so the Vikings barely beat the Jets.
It was 2019 for the longest.
Yeah, and then Christian Watson put the fucking slammer.
I saw something today, and it was pointing out Justin Fields. Justin Fields in the clutch this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5. Down 12-7 versus Washington. Turnover on downs to lose. Down 35-32 to Miami. Turnover on downs.
Oh, the Bucks scored.
Down 31-30 versus Detroit. Sacked on 4th down to lose. Down 27-24 to Atlanta. In total lose. Down 20-19 versus Green Bay. In total lose.
Rashad White scored.
Oh, wow. That's it. Brady does it anyway. This is why.
Yeah, but they got to make this extra point, and that the extra points are not gimmies anymore.
Nah, but it's suck up. They'll be all right. If they don't make it, they go into overtime. Bucks got the momentum. Damn.
Got it. And a flag. Will they hop over the center? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What happened?
Flag on the extra point.
Yeah, over the center.
Yeah, on the defense. Can't do that.
Nope.
Jesus.
It's
such bullshit. It really is.
But yeah, Titans look bad. Henry, another
Nothing.
Another shitty game.
Doo-doo.
And that can happen with Henry. How about Russell Wilson not scoring? They can't even get in the end zone.
Why does that surprise us anymore?
I mean, it doesn't. Like 10-9. Like really, Russell? Like seriously, Russ? 10-9?
Right.
Like you can't put up a touchdown. I saw something that was like Mike White put up more touchdowns last game than Russ has in the last 4 weeks or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah, there's another counter on Instagram that says Russell Wilson has 9 touchdowns and he has 12 bathrooms in his house.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Latavius Murray, not that good.
Tavius did all right. I mean, especially PPR. I mean, he had some rushing and receiving because I had
Dolchich, really good. 6 for 85.
Dolchich,
yeah. Cortland Sutton.
Sutton put up a donut, did he?
Oh my God, yeah, 1 target.
Yeah. Listen, Dolchich is the guy. Go, if you need a tight end, just go grab Dolchich and call it a day. I mean,
Judy was okay,
but yeah, I don't know, man. Any of those guys.
Yeah, can't.
I'm so glad that I didn't draft any guys. And I talked about it when I was doing some of the drafts. I was like, I've never even in some of my mock drafts, I chose Sutton maybe twice out of hundreds. I'm like, it's just because I don't know. I just wanted.
But you know what was crazy? Sutton, even though they were really bad, Sutton for the first month was excellent.
He was.
So it wasn't like he's just been bad all season. Obviously the team has been bad, but Sutton was really, really good over the first month. Really good, man. And I have Sutton on my team in my league, but I have really other good options. I have Olave, I have Pittman on that team. So the Sutton thing doesn't hurt me. I have Tony Pollard on that team that I can mess around with the flex. So I got other good options, but if you're in a 3 wide receiver league and Cortland Sutton was your wide receiver 2, that's brutal, dude. Or Judy, even absolute brutal.
Yep.
Jesus.
What else went on?
And the fucking Bucks. Jesus Christ.
Cleveland defense was just really good.
Dallas defense was really good too.
Collins, another 10 targets and a touchdown. Just for so long of that game, Nico Collins had 1 catch on 5 targets, all just in the end zone, just throwing it up to him. And I'm like, damn, if he could only just catch one of these motherfuckers,
He got but 3 catches on 10 targets. I don't like that.
No, it was horrible. They were just throwing it up they were trying to get him in the end zone, but just bad, just bad throws, just not
Damian Pierce a little bit better. Nothing crazy, but a little better.
A little bit better. Yeah, I mean Chubb 17 for 80, right? He didn't really much.
No offensive touchdowns. Cooper.
I expected the run game to score the touchdowns, but it
There was
turned
a
out
defense, yeah.
the defense was really good. Yeah, I'm going against the defense. Look at this fucking in this one league, a game that I really need to win. And I have St. Brown. I got CD Lamb. I got Higgins. I got a couple good guys. But anyway, I'm about to lose by 2 points because the Cleveland defense put up 31 points. 2 win toes, 12 points allowed, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 3, not 1, not 2, 3 touchdowns. And then Robbie Gold, the guy's kicker, scored 18 points, bro. This guy scored 50 points between the kicker and the defense. That's bullshit.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
And then you had Mike Evans, who scored 9.9 points. So he just barely beat me because of.
Oh, Mike Evans got the garbage at the end.
God damn it. Shit. But listen, it happens. Let's see what else went on here. We talked about that. We talked about how shit Russ was. Lamar getting hurt. I mean, it looks like he's definitely going to be out this coming week. But they said it's going to be week to week. So we'll see what happens with Lamar.
Yeah, if you got Tyler Huntley, or if you can go get Huntley, I don't think that's a bad option.
No, I'm about to go pick up Huntley just so Ron can't.
I like it. I like it. He doesn't have any quarterbacks, and Mariota's on a bye this week.
Yeah, somebody's got to do it. So I'm picking up Huntley. He's going to be cursing somebody.
And we have
Chicken will probably do it. So
Chicken won't have the waiver. Me and you will have the waiver before him.
That's right. That is right. I mean, yeah, and that does matter actually, because if he loses and me or you win, we could take first. So
no, you wouldn't be able to take first because you don't have the points to catch him.
Yeah, but we're top. Oh yeah.
Okay. You don't have the points. You don't have the points. Yeah.
He's coming out with a win this week. I forgot. I thought we were still tied. I forgot. Yeah, so we can't catch up to him. So really, I guess it doesn't matter. Fuck.
No, and he won this week.
Yeah, that was if he would have lost this week, then that would have been.
It would have opened up the division. Yep.
All right.
Damn, fucking PJB had P. Ryan. Didn't play him. Played Gus Edwards over P. Ryan. What is that about? What is that about?
Well, PBG, I mean, I think we got like the same amount of points now, but if he lost, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, he lost. He's out.
So really, it's all Brandon in that league.
Did Villains win? Villains won, so they're up to 6 and 7, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's only one game left. He's down. Let's see. We talked about the Niners. I mean,
Eagles.
We talked about the Bengals a little bit with the Chiefs. Really, just good game, but just couldn't pull it out.
Mahomes doesn't play well against the Bengals.
Pull it out. Yeah, I mean, what happened there? 27-24. Just. He didn't have a 40-point game, that's for sure.
And Kelsey wasn't up to his usual standards.
Oh, Kelsey, nothing really happened there.
MVS had a big game.
Well, MVS did have a big game. Damn, I'm tired. Had a couple big catches.
And a touchdown.
On those deep balls, 6 targets, 2 for 71. But I mean,
I thought he
must have had like 300 air yards, bro. I
was getting ready to say he only had 2 catches. It felt like more
because he kept trying to hit him deep.
I'm looking at him like, yo, Valdez Scantling had a big game.
No, he caught 2 of them, but yeah, bro, it was
That's interesting.
Wasn't that good. I think what surprised me this game was just Sky Moore not being involved at all. Not like Justin Watson was either, or any of the other guys. I don't know. It was just a little bit weird, I guess, this game. Like Pacheco, Juju. I mean, not even Juju, Kelsey, and Scantling.
When you order in the McDonald's app,
it's almost like he only threw the ball 27 times too.
Yep.
That's another, another part of it. They were trying to run a little bit more, I guess. I don't know. Pacheco 14 for 66 on the touch.
Pacheco's been actually a guy you can kind of start moving up a little bit. He's been producing.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks, without whatchamacallit, no CH, and then McKinnon got a little banged up as well. But yeah, I mean, he's going to get carries. He's just got to score a touchdown. That's going to be the biggest thing with Pacheco. He's got to score a touchdown. But yeah, P Ryan, we've been saying, bro, if you got Mixon and Mixon is out, P Ryan is an easy plug-in.
Yeah, he's a play. I just wasn't sure, like, how much, like, if they would run him, because I look at him more as like a third down back. I never realized he was like a tough between the tackles kind of runner because he never had that opportunity. But he's awesome, dude. The way they use him, especially in that offense, he's pretty damn good.
6 for 49 and 21 for 106.
That's getting it done. And he had a touchdown, didn't he?
No. T. Higgins had the touchdown. Burrow had the other one. Chris Evans had the touch. No, Chris talking about Chris Evans had the receiving touchdown. Actually, it
right. But even still, you'll take that 100 yards and the catches and all that good stuff.
Yep. Yeah, T 35 and the touch. Yeah.
Chase 7 for 97. Take that.
Yeah, I mean, led the team in targets still. So this thing. What else did we miss? Talked about Derek Carr and Devontae just obviously doing their thing. Chargers, I mean, Keenan Allen, 6 for 88, 14 targets. Palmer had 11, 7 for 60, but they're just not, like, doing much with them,
Yeah, that offense is just weird, man. What did Eckler do? He didn't have a great game.
Eckler, 5 for 67 through the air, 10 for 35 on the ground. A lot of mock drafts have them getting a wide receiver. We'll see what they wind up doing in the draft, but I think they need a nice young target for Justin Herbert.
Mm-hmm.
That would be good.
Like a Drake London, Garrett Wilson type.
Yeah, well, they'll be looking at probably, Jigba, Addison, Quentin Johnson, any of those guys really could wind up going there, which would all be pretty good fits. Probably
also, too, it really depends. Are they trying to play it? Are they trying to play it out the rest of the season and try and make the playoffs? I think they're 6-6 now, so they really have to decide.
I mean, even still, I mean, there'll still be top wide receivers for them to get, whether it's late first round. So we'll see what they decide to do, but there has been a lot of talk about that. Eagles keep getting a running back in most of the mocks.
Yeah.
I keep seeing Gibbs going there, which is like the perfect guy that they want there. Pass catching, can run also. Yeah, we talked about the Dolphins getting their ass whooped. That tie between the Commanders Giants still is like, what the fuck? Really tying? Come on. Come on.
It didn't surprise me in the grand scheme of things, to be honest with you.
But all right, Steelers Falcons, like Drake London finally they threw the ball to this guy. 12 targets, 6 for 95. That is what we're talking about. Other than that, Zacchaeus 2 for 13. But Mariota's just got to pass the ball somewhat better. 13 of 24, 167. Patterson and Algier again split the carries.
Split. Yeah, that's a split, dude. That's a 50-50 split. They're getting like 10 carries each game. Both of them. It's you can't do anything with that. I think Patterson's the more explosive guy, obviously, but still.
Yeah. I mean, Pickett, 197 and a touch. Not great, but I mean, Deontay Johnson, it was nice to see him get 11 targets, 5 for 60. But Pickens, I mean, 2 targets. What's going on there? Freiermuth had 5 targets, 3 for 76, started off the game hot, and then they just stopped going to him.
Yeah, I don't understand why they do shit like that.
Najee 17 for 86, so he was running good, but they just weren't able to get anything going. Caddy, what up, my guy? Tua, Kelsey, and Henry dropped a dud for me. Yeah, bro, that sucks. What's the chances of all that happening in 1 week? But you'll be all right, bro. You got next week coming. We got next week. But yeah, that was pretty much it there. Yeah, they really need a QB. Falcons got to try something. Playoff time for Caddy. Yeah, all right, Caddy. So your playoff start this week coming up, right?
Yeah, I think you said 14. Yeah. So that first game next week is
This is the 2-game playoff or the one? I forgot.
I think the championship is a 2-game playoff, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he's got Rams and Raiders as that first game of the playoffs coming up Thursday.
All right. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Hit the horn. Dynasty Life Fantasy. 150 subscribers. Let's go, boys and girls and gents.
It's a big deal.
We got a long way to go to get to the ultimate goal of 1,000.
Let's get to 200.
But let's go little by little. I think we'll pick up a bunch next year coming in as we're more active. We're doing Dynasty shit in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Then once the real season comes up, pick 2 wide receivers and 1 flex. Sun God is always going to be one. He is the god, right, Hammer?
I think. No. Yeah, I'm not doing this with you today.
D-Hop, Garrett, Debo, Connor, Hollywood, DJ Moore. All right, so we got to pick 3, Hammer. Who are you? All right. Can we agree that Sun God is at least automatic in this?
No, he's not. Amon-Ra's automatic.
All right, so we got Amon-Ra, the Sun God, is definitely going to be 1. Now we got to pick 2 more of these.
I think Garrett's got to be in there too.
I think Garrett's got to be in there.
I do.
Okay. Over
D-Hop.
Who are you eliminating? Like
DJ Moore's out. Yeah, DJ Moore's out. Debo's out. Connor's out.
DJ Moore and Debo's out. Connor's out. Okay.
Yeah, just because I like D-Hop and Hollywood a lot better for more consistent production. I know Connor's been better, but I don't, especially if it's a PPR. So I like Garrett Wilson and Amon-Ra, and I think I'll go the first 3 guys, honestly. Arizona coming out of the bye. I like the first 3 guys he's got here.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Sun God, Garrett Wilson, and James Conner.
That's surprising because you hate James Conner.
I do hate James Conner, but he's just the only guy there. He just gets the work. I mean, it doesn't. Even though I hate the guy, he's
getting the work. Yeah, the volume's there.
guys are getting points and guys are in good positions. That's just what it is, whether I like them or not. But
Yep.
D Hop just, with Hollywood back, Hollywood had more targets last game, and D Hop is like, okay, what are we gonna start getting this 5-6 target, a touchdown or a dud game? Like that's what we're gonna start getting now again. Hollywood, good PPR. I think Connor just has a better chance to score, and he's going to get more chances. Debo, no. DJ, no. So, yeah, that's what I'm going with. Sun God, Garrett Wilson, and Connor. Garrett Wilson's been on fire. And you've got Mike White still as the QB. So that should continue at least. But, yeah, I can't be mad at going D-Hop, though, either. What do you think, Caddy? Who'd you have in? Cards
Yeah, I don't.
in next week. Yeah, so that's another, I guess that's something else you could kind of throw into there. But anything else, Hammer?
Yeah, I really don't mind you going with Connor, especially over the last couple of games we've seen, and they're coming off the bye, so they're going to be fresh and ready to go. I do think Arizona beats New England this week. But yeah, I have Connor on my home league team. And I haven't been playing him really because I just have better options. Kenneth Walker, Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard. You know what I mean? So Connor really hasn't broken out for me where I needed him per se. But yeah, I can't be mad at that.
Yeah, Caddy said he had D-Hop, Garrett, and Amon-Ra in. Yeah. I'm not, like I said, I'm not mad at it. D-Hop's been on fire. So
yeah.
It's just a matter of like, do they kind of change things up? Well, obviously they did last week with Hollywood back. So,
but I still think there's enough to go around for those three guys. No Rondell Moore.
Yeah, no,
AJ Green's not a factor, so I don't really, those three guys can get plenty of work.
Yeah, definitely is. Super, what up, Super? It's been a minute. My opponent had Saints D. I won by 0.8. Yeah, nice. Good shit, Super. So
yeah, that would have picked.
Getting the last minute win. Garbage points could work the other way too.
Yeah, that's that Monday night fantasy god. We talk about that shit all the time.
Fantasy gods have blessed you this week, Super.
It giveth and it taketh away.
They've blessed you. Guys, make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that subscribe if you haven't. We got the Tua card going out for Christmas. The Tua rookie going out. And for every episode that you tune into, you get an entry. We'll do it that way. So now the more people that tune in, the more chances you got to win. RIP Niners, Caddy said.
I don't think so. I think they have everything in place where Purdy just has to do what Jimmy G was doing. They're not asking him to go out there and be Lamar Jackson or, Josh Allen or anything like that. Like we saw again in the game against Miami. You know what I mean? If it was going to be RIP Niners, Miami would have blew them doors off, but they didn't because that defense is really good and they got playmakers everywhere. So I think the Niners will be just fine. Do I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl? No, I do not. But do I think they're going to make the playoffs and possibly win a playoff game? Yes. Yes, I do.
Yep. Yeah, like Hammer said, he just got to protect the football, really. That's going to be the main thing. It's going to be the main thing. What else happened that we missed or we didn't talk about?
Talked about Dallas.
Jason, there he is. What up, Jason?
Jay, what up, man? I think that was pretty much it.
Best QB streamers this week. You got Lamar. Listen, Huntley is going to be right up there. What other QBs are on the waiver for you? Let us know. We talked about Goff. Would be a good pickup earlier. Kirk Cousins, if he's out there. It just depends who you got out there. But Huntley is not going to be the worst streamer in the world. He runs the ball at least a little bit too. So
we didn't really touch on that Seattle game.
All right, we'll get to that in a sec. Do you think Debo value changes at all? I mean, his value has been changed all season. I mean, he hasn't been great, and now he's been hurt. He's nursing the hammy. It
And they
hasn't
got
been
other guys.
They've got other guys. I mean, so yeah, I mean, everybody on the 49ers takes maybe a little bit of hit, like realistically. I mean,
I actually think McCaffrey's value goes up.
well, yeah, I meant the pass catchers, but yeah, McCaffrey. As far as McCaffrey, his maybe it does go up. It already was going up because of the Mitchell injury.
Mm-hmm.
Now the only guy back there, so now they'll probably will lean on CMC a little bit more, and maybe they try and get the ball into Ayuk's hand with some screens and stuff. I don't know exactly how. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Jason said, I somehow won this week with Jeff Wilson and Deshaun Watson. Ugh. We told you don't be playing Deshaun Watson yet. I'd still wait until he actually produces before I start Watson, especially if you got a decent other option. Super said, I mean, there's A-Rod, Brady, Carr, Pickett, Mariota, Mike White. Yeah, I mean, you've got.
I think I like Aaron Rodgers here a little bit better.
Yeah, you can take Aaron Rodgers. You can take Aaron Rodgers, or I mean, I hate Carr, but
Even though Devontae had that big game, Carr wasn't that good.
he wasn't.
No, his stat line wasn't good. So I think I like Aaron Rodgers here, and the only reason why I'm saying that is because I'm a Packer. Nah, I'm just kidding. Because he doesn't turn the football over. Now I know he's turned it over a little bit more, and I think that's more due to the new guys that he's working with. But he seemed to find a nice little groove the last 2-3 weeks. But A-Rod's on a bye next week, so you can't even pick him up.
That's right. Now, what about Mike White? I mean,
I like that.
he didn't throw any touchdowns last week, but still 19 fantasy points.
And that's with 2 turnovers.
Oh, he had a rushing touchdown, but did have the 2 turnovers. So, oh no, they're going against Buffalo though, so
That doesn't bother me, honestly.
not as much as it used to.
No, that doesn't bother me, and I think he'll throw the ball.
Division game, I guess.
Where are they playing? Buffalo or New York?
Buffalo.
Ooh,
They are playing at Buffalo, so that's tough.
That
Who's
is-
Aaron Rodgers playing?
bye.
Oh, Rodgers is bye, so you can't play Rodgers. Who's Brady playing?
Let's see next week.
San Fran. Jesus, fuck. Carr. Who's
Chargers.
Carr? Carr's got the.
Chargers.
They just played.
No, they just played. My bad. Why the fuck? Yeah, he's got the Rams this Thursday.
Maybe Derek Carr is a good pickup. Who's Mariota got?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going with Mariota or Pickett here.
Mariota's on bye.
Yeah, so Rodgers and Mariota are out.
Brady,
And-
Carr, or White. I mean, I'd probably take the chance on Carr or White.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning Mike White here, but maybe Carr. You could probably put Carr in there.
Away from the Buffalo. Yeah, I know Mike White's been kind of hot, but Carr might be the best option here. Carr or Brady, you choose. I'll take Carr though. Lions D is coming up. Yeah, I mean, not like the Jacksonville Jaguars are world beaters or have
Right.
great offense, but
Right.
they did decent. I mean, shit, they gave up 14 points, right? I think they gave up 14 points. Something
Nah,
like
a little bit more than that.
I don't remember what it was, but
14. Yeah.
Super said, I'm a Broncos fan and the shit is unbearable. Yeah, I feel bad for you, bro. Let's just pick another team. I mean, hop on with me with Minnesota here.
Don't do that. Super, don't do that. Don't ever do that.
Listen, we can get a skull together because you ain't riding shit. But yeah, I mean, that's got to be brutal for the Broncos. I mean, listen, I was always a big, not a big, but, I was a Russell fan for fantasy. But this year, him going to the Broncos, like, I did have a funny feeling. And I only drafted Russell Wilson in one league. But I did have, like, a funny feeling. It was like, I don't know. Like, I was talking about it before. Like, I didn't really feel great about Judy or Sutton or anything. And I'm just like.
And especially remember that first game against Seattle? And we watched it, and I'm pretty sure everybody and their mother picked Denver to win that game, just going away. And that game was like, all right, maybe it's just him figuring it out, but that should have told us something about what the hell was going to happen this year. And we kept waiting, and now look where we're at with Russell Wilson and the goddamn Broncos.
I mean, even still, there's people like, well, maybe he brings maybe the old Russ comes back. Like, all right, guys, we're about to be week 14. We've gone through 13 weeks of okay, maybe this is the week. Like, shit ain't right. Like, Russ is not the same that he used to be. Just like Tom Brady now, you can see he's not really the same as he used to be. So I mean, I think even more it brings into perspective more like dynasty views as well as like guys, this shit happens quick and it happens, and you can lose so much value where, do you give him up a year early or not? Like Hammer, you gave up Derrick Henry last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's one of those situations where it's like, do you give him up a year early and cash out, or do you hold on to him and let him die on your team? Like, and depending on the play, like Travis Kelce is a guy that's like, all right, I'll let Travis Kelce die on my team. Like, that's all good. The points that he's putting up, but
at the position he puts it up.
Yeah. And, but Derrick Henry, it's like, you got out a year early and you cashed out, just in case, because what if he did get hurt this year? Then you ain't getting,
And to be quite honest with you, the only reason why I gave him up is because of what I got. I got Jamar Chase.
Yeah, that's true. But even here brings up another one, because I've been thinking about this too. I don't know if I mentioned it the other day or not, but Cooper Kupp, right? This is a situation where it's like, damn, did you hold on to him 1 year too late? Like going into next year, like, do you still feel like he can put up, a top 5 season, being that this year they really didn't look that good? Stafford, I mean, obviously we don't look that good, and he just hurt. So now what's going to be happening?
But how did Cooper Kupp look even with that shit offense?
No, I know, but it's not just that. It's also Stafford just declining, also in general. So as far as like the value is concerned, or what people perceive, like, obviously you can't get what you could for Kupp, 4 weeks ago.
No, and I think we talked about this even when we were doing our rankings. And Cooper Kupp's what is he? He'll be 30 by the next time they play the season. But he's not a guy that relies on speed, athleticism, anything like that. So I do think his game ages well. Now, you bring up a good point with the whole Stafford thing, but I think this is the best kind of thing to happen to the Rams, where they had a really deep playoff run. We've seen this a lot, where a Super Bowl hangover, they're going to get plenty of time to rest, get their shit together. If Stafford needs to have surgery, and remember the elbow or the shoulder situation that Stafford had before the season. I think that was kind of underplayed as the season went on. So I think this situation is the best thing for them, just to take the rest of the season off, kind of get their body back into shape, get their mind, get healthy, ramp back up sometime over the summer and kick it into full gear. So I'm not worried about Cooper Kupp, to be honest with you. And even more so because he'll be essentially going into next season. He's my wide receiver too. And that's about as good as it gets because I have Jamar Chase. So if Cooper Kupp was my wide receiver 1, I still wouldn't be that concerned. But the fact that he's not my wide receiver 1 anymore. He's my wide receiver 2, or really 1A. That affords me the luxury. And now I have Christian Watson. So that really affords me the luxury of not having to rely on him to put up historic numbers week in and week out. Even if he's giving me 15, 16 a game, that'll get it done with, Jamar Chase. Obviously, we know what he is. And if Aaron Rodgers decides he wants to, come back and do his thing with Christian Watson and those boys, now I'm looking at a 3-headed monster of Chase, Kupp, and Watson. That's pretty good.
No, I mean, listen, Kupp, I think even still next year, if Stafford comes back, he'll still get, his points. But as far as, like Stafford now, it's like, all right, now it's like, shit, that clock might be ticking now, So what we thought might have been 3-4 years might only be like 1-2 years now.
And he has a lot of miles on that arm.
So, just the overall, like the value of Kupp, like if you like to get out, like after next season, like even if he does good next season, it's like, I guess the peak opportunity to get rid of him, to get the most points and to get out at the perfect right time might have passed already. But if you are, on that winning squad where you are, running for championships, then you're okay, to hold on to him, unless you're somebody like me that doesn't give a fuck about that and just wants to get the value out of it. Like if you can get out of Cup, then then
No, listen.
But
Cooper Cup is my guy. He, like Joe Burrow and Cooper Cup, are just my guys. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean I won't field offers in the offseason and see if somebody will give me a crazy haul for it. You know what I mean? Or, sometime next season. Does that mean I'll trade him? No, not necessarily. But if somebody's going to give me, a young wide receiver, say Chris Olave and a first round pick, maybe.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
A Garrett Wilson.
Well, let's put it this way: what is Cup worth basically right now?
Definitely worth he definitely has to be worth somewhere in a first round pick,
Yeah,
like a mid.
Still worth a first, I think. But.
So that really depends. I'm not going to trade him for an older guy. Like I'm not going to trade him for Mike Evans. Like I'm not doing that.
No, it depends on your position. Like, okay, if you were on a losing team, let's just say, or you got to rebuild and you got Cooper Cup, you could probably sell Cooper Cup for, realistically out there, probably a late first, maybe not even at this point because he's hurt. He's not coming back this season. So really, you ain't getting shit for him right now. You gotta wait till next season. And maybe to a winning team, you could get a late first, which I'll take. If you're, if you need to rebuild,
but the way my team,
I don't think anybody's going to spend more than that.
I'm not looking at it like that because my team, I think the way my team is constructed, I have like good foundational pieces. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna have to draft an RB, and I have 2 first round.
Compared to your team, yeah, I was just talking.
Well, I'm just gonna look at it from my perspective because that makes it easier for me to evaluate it, I guess.
Well, look at it from all perspectives, Emma.
No, because he's my guy.
For you, yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I already have 2 first round picks. So, I could just sell Cooper Cup, before the draft and just have 3 first round picks and just reload that way with Burrow and Chase as my foundational pieces. The biggest issue for me really isn't even Cup, to be honest. It's where's Josh Jacobs going to go? So for me, that's what I'm saying. So I want to see where he's going to go. But I think, does free agency happen before the draft or after? Before, right?
There's like a month before, I think. March, I think that is. The draft is April, I believe.
All right, so at least that's a good situation. So I'll know where Josh Jacobs is before the draft, which is awesome.
Super. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Nathaniel Hackett sucks too. Yeah, we knew that from the beginning. That was just garbage.
Do you
Cup the week before he got hurt? Oh, that sucks. Man.
That does suck.
That sucks.
I mean, if it's redraft, it's not so bad.
Caddy said, how does Dynasty draft work? Does a team with the best record get last pick the next year, vice versa?
Yep.
This all depends on how your league is set up. There is, like, the standard way would be, yes, the last place team is the one that gets the first pick and it goes from there. But there are leagues where it goes by points, not necessarily by just your
record,
just your overall record. This way you can stop kind of tanking type of things. There's situations where there's a like losers bracket, and the winner of that losers bracket gets the first round pick. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can do it. I've seen a bunch, a ton of different ways. Typically, the most common way is the lowest amount of points for, but it can go any way. It can go by overall record, points for, or anything. But yeah, every year there's just a rookie draft, and everybody has picks, and you get to you pick the rookies because your team stays the same unless you obviously make trades and stuff like that. Jackson said, "Hammer, you're so cute, bruh. I love your takes." Loves it. I guess he don't like mine.
No, he's sticky as shit.
Oh, brother. I know Hammer's cuter, but
no argument there.
Vikings are better.
Oh, I'm fucking done. I'm so done. I'm so done.
Oh shit. But yeah, Stevie's takes are questionable.
You know what Steve's problem is? He's kind of set in his ways. I think he likes his guys and he doesn't want to hear anything else. You did pick James Conner.
I got a bunch of guys, but everybody's got their guys before the season or during the season. But I'm open up to other shit, or when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Look, I fucking hate James Conner, but I'm picking him heavy right now.
This week.
Yep. The fan cave sign-in back rules out all credibility. Very biased. I'm actually not that biased towards Vikings as far as what fantasy concerned. I mean, we all know JJ was going to be pretty much the top receiver.
That dude.
Taken off the board. Cook I had as a top 10 guy coming in. I think I had him top 5. I think I had him like 4th. Let's be looking at that right now. Right now he's 10th. Right now he's 10th. He's been healthy, so if he scores some more touchdowns, he can probably get up a little bit more. But he's not far behind some of the other guys to get to. He's 13 points behind getting to 6th. So he's doing his thing. He's doing his thing, man. He's doing his thing. Is Connor a top 12 running back? No, he's absolutely not a top 12 running back. He's top 12 running back for the rest of the season? Yeah.
That's where I was going to go with that. For the rest of the season.
For the rest of the season, yes. Yes. Hammer, very professional with the quarter zip looking like Eli Manning out here. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't wear my work shit, but if you do see some of the Instagram and shorts on YouTube, I am at work or in my work attire, either in my office or in my car.
It's not a competition.
Spitting takes, but
it's not a competition. I'm a dapper dude.
When I'm at home, I wear whatever I'm wearing, whatever I'm fucking with. And just so you can see what it says, just life it. So just like, Dynasty life, just life it, baby. Jackson shorts don't matter unless you're wearing it here. Doesn't count. Oh, this guy is gonna make me fucking wear my suit on here.
Boom. Boom.
Homie, Hammer with the Packers. Listen, don't with the shirt. He said, yeah, don't get started over here. All right.
Oh, get
my shirt today. I'll have to wear that on. I'll wear that next one on Friday. We'll go Vikings up and down.
So, full disclosure, I live in a 1-bedroom apartment with the wife. We do have a second floor that our bedroom's on, but I don't officially have a man cave yet because none of my memorabilia or any of that stuff is allowed out on display. I do have the Packers ownership stake thing hanging up there, but once I get a house and I get a nice man cave, the full Monty of the Packers cave will be out. So just wait for that incoming. But yeah, man, listen, I always said, especially even when I first started playing fantasy, I was never going to be biased towards my team. Like, oh, I have to have all Packers. I have to have Aaron every single year. I have to have this guy. I have that. Listen, I said this before. I'll take Justin Jefferson over almost any receiver. Chase, you could argue, but I think Jefferson's more consistent than Chase at this point. Adrian Peterson, when he was doing his thing and rumbling, like I picked him number 1 overall in like 2012 or whatever it was, 2013. So I have no issues with that. Obviously, listen, if Aaron Rodgers, when he was winning his MVPs, am I going to take him? Yes, I will take him. I will have him on my team. Devontae Adams, when he was on the Packers, would I take him on my team? Yes. This year, maybe not so much. I had Aaron Jones for like 2 weeks and then traded him because I needed to get better in other areas. So I always said, listen, my team is my team. I'm going to root for them. Have I bet against the Packers this year? Yes, I have bet against the Packers this year. So I think that's one of the things that, makes you a good, podcast host, fantasy football player. You got to kind of take your emotions out of it sometimes, because if you let your emotions get involved, you could lose a lot of fantasy games and you could lose a lot of bets, and nothing is going to stand in my way of winning some dough. But not only do I win the money, I get the respect. Like I did last year when I took the inaugural Dynasty championship to the bank. Thank you, Joe Burrow.
I'm only biased when I'm picking like the actual game. So the Vikings they're just going to be who I'm going to pick to win every time they play. But that's the only time I'm actually really just biased. Jason said, "Bro, I just have a room." Oh, shit.
That's funny. That's funny.
Sober thoughts. What up, my guy? Y'all starting Swift next week? Absolutely. But
You have to.
Back to getting a lot more touches, and again we just saw what he did last week when he got more touches, which wasn't even a heavy dose of touches, but it was good.
Even in limited touches, you have to play him because he can score.
And even in the limited touches, he was still just scoring. So, absolutely, I'm starting Swift. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson said, "Please do the day Bagala comes back. Y'all should dress up hella, and he comes on with some casual fits."
I actually like that. Well, Bagala looks like a homeless person. Bagala looks like a terrorist. He hasn't got a haircut in like 2 years.
I just adapt to the environment.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
At work, I'm professional as fuck. At home here, I'm just myself, and we don't gotta always be all professional.
Hey, listen, to be fair, you see me in my hoodies, you see me in my hat, backwards hat sometimes. So I'm not always, I just threw this on because it's very comfortable, actually. I got some Adidas track pants on that you can't see. So I'm not exactly professional right now. But I appreciate you guys noticing the well-dressed manner in which I show up to the show.
Keep telling yourself that, Stevie. Oh, yeah. Oh, I do. I mean, listen, the way I grew up, I can adapt to anything. Not even only dress-wise, but personality-wise, especially my job, what I do. I always got to adapt to different kind of people and shit like that. You will never see Hammer with no drip. His hairline is crisp as a motherfucker. Yeah, Hammer's always been one that's loved his hair. Hammer is one that is a lot more focused on his appearance than I am. I just don't give a F, bro. You either like me or you don't. The woman still comes, so I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care about my hairline, bro.
Listen, it's one thing. It's one thing that I've always. It's just who I am. You know what I mean? We're different people. Listen. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Let's just put it that way. I think that's the point you're getting at there. But
I am a crisp motherfucker when it comes to work, though. My dress attire at work, that's fire. But when I'm at home, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Like you said, I don't walk around in suits all day or dress stuff all day. Honestly, I work from home. I mean, I do real estate as well, so obviously I got to dress more professional. I had to get some more professional attire for, to do real estate and stuff like that. So, it's like that. Yeah, but the hairline has to stay nice. It wasn't always like this. The hairline has to be nice, and that's just how I have to have it.
Yeah. I only feel that way like at work. Really, there's something to be said when people walk in and they know that I'm one of the most important motherfuckers in the dealership.
Oh, hell yeah!
Like, oh, you're the GM? Like, I'm not the GM, but what you need, what you need, baby girl. I can get you in one of these.
But yo, that's how you have to do it. I can't be mad at it. Like you said, you gotta adapt. You gotta.
Stevie can pull bitches for it. Listen, I sold the chick a car, and then we did the deed. But anyway,
hold on. This is the first I'm hearing about this. And to be fair, Steve has never been a
Oh,
kiss
you heard
and tell.
about this? The Asian chick I was.
Oh, but I didn't know you sold. I didn't know you sold her a car.
I
That
sold
wasn't.
her a car. That's how it started, and then yeah, then we blessed it. Brand new Acura TL. Got a lot of B in there. Stevie got the Viking flung. Yeah, that's funny. That's hilarious. Jackson, you are funny, my dog.
Jackson, there's some stories that I would like to tell you, but we'll save that when we meet up for the football game.
Thoughts on Waddle? Sober Thought said Waddle seems to be okay. He was hurt. So if you didn't know, he was hurt. He came out. He did go back in, but that could be why obviously his production was low. But he's okay going forward. So he's still a guy going forward. That doesn't change for me. What about you, Hammer?
Yeah, he's still a top 10 guy. I think they just ran into a buzzsaw of a defense, in San Francisco. They were in San Francisco, I believe. So they just ran into a buzzsaw of a defense. But Waddle is still going to be amazing. Waddle be fine.
Yeah. Jackson said, "Oh yeah, the petite Asians are Stevie's weakness." No, I've only been with 2 Asians. Only one was real petite. But yeah, I like me a nice Coke bottle figure.
He likes General Tso's chicken with his lo mein. Let's put it that way.
No, I'm not. I mean, Asians are all right. I haven't. Whatever's nice, whatever's out there, baby. I mean,
I can't really speak.
Get this Viking schlong, so.
I can't really speak on that because I'm married. So that's a situation that I retired some time ago. So I can't speak on that.
Yeah, Hammer used to be a player. Now he's a married man.
That's it. Hung up the cleats. That's it. Retired.
Oh man. Oh goddamn! If it has a vagina and walks, Stevie will attack. No, that's actually Bagala. That's not Stevie.
That's actually an excellent point.
We can both attest that is Bagala. That is not Stevie B. I'm all right. I'm a little more smooth. Bagala just Hammer. You can't talk. I bet you the dumb blonde. No.
My wife is a blonde, so.
Oh man, good times. We definitely got to hit that Vikings game next year, though.
Hold on, so just
shit up in advance.
I don't know if you can see.
This guy has to.
So, Jason, just in case you were wondering, my wife is blonde, so.
All good, Jason. He didn't take it to heart.
Yes, I did.
He said, "You know what? Let me show you."
Yeah.
When Bagala gets on here, I'm calling him out. Yeah, listen, we've had many encounters at young ages that we aren't necessarily proud of nowadays. But we've been in some situations. We've been in some
preach. I can't preach, but you preach.
Oh boy, Jackson said, "Damn, Hamadan piece, yeah."
Something like that.
Something like that.
I'm getting old, man. Can't.
Listen, it just, shit happens, bro. Shit happens. I got a daughter. I thought my baby mom's was a dime piece. Now she's just I won't even.
Really?
Those, my friend. Listen.
I don't know. Jackson, where are we going with this?
Asians aren't my thing. If you want me to be totally on, clear about it, the Spanish are my weakness. Okay. That is, Puerto Rican, Dominicans, that is my absolute weakness. Love me a Spanish chick, but
that's local.
Yes. My baby mama is Dominican and Puerto Rican. I fucked up.
Yeah. That's all you need to say. That's all you need to say.
Whoever is with a Dominican or Puerto Rican, you know my pain. But anyway, should just be happening, dogs.
Well, this
Anyway,
show took a turn that I did not expect.
y'all else got anything else y'all want to talk about football wise, or I guess
Life.
personal wise at this point?
Life wise, we done ran down that. We done ran down that.
But anyway, yeah. Anything else we you said we missed a Seattle or something like that?
Yeah, just a couple of the guys. Lockett and Metcalf went off. Gino had a great day.
Yeah, Gino did his thing. Kenneth Walker, obviously, with the injury, hopefully okay and gets back. But yeah, Tyler Lockett and DK just went off. Tutu Atwell, 2 for 48 for 5 targets, leading receiver for the Rams.
Told you, my boy Tutu could do some work.
I had Tutu on my dynasty team, if you don't remember, but I had to get rid of him. I didn't have enough space on my taxi squad. But Cam Akers, 17 for 6, 2 touchdowns. I mean, they gave him the ball. I'm still not excited about him, but they gave him the ball, bro. You know. That will get you. Them hips don't lie. Yeah, I mean, listen.
See, I can hold on.
Don't lie, bro. It's
whatever that was, Blanc. I could hear it.
Oh, you could? That was the ESPN fucking around. That's why.
Yeah, I could hear it,
bro. Thoughts on Chase? I played Chase and Waddle and almost got hosed by Cleveland. Listen, I got hosed by Cleveland D. I lost by 2 points. Cleveland D scored 31 in this one league that I had to play against. So, I mean, listen, Chase is fine. Chase is Chase. He's back. I mean, you can feel
he'll be ready to go.
Forward. I mean, he's absolutely fine. So,
and also you have to play him regardless. Like, he's your guy.
Not worried about anything. Doesn't look like he was hurt. Doesn't look like he was limping around. Doesn't look like that had any effect or toll on him. So, and Waddle, like we mentioned before, he should be fine now as well.
Yep.
Next week, Devonta Smith or Miles Sanders. It's tough because either one of them.
I think they're both coming off good games, as far as I remember. I know Devonta Smith had a nice game.
Let's see who they're playing.
I don't think it matters.
I just like to know. They're playing the Giants. I mean,
Giants have a decent defense, though.
They do.
But I just like the Eagles' offense way more. It's a good question. Because Miles Sanders, remember, he started off – Sanders started off well and then, kind of had a little bit of a lull there. So I think I would lean Miles Sanders, but I don't think you really could go wrong either way. Because they're both kind of hit or miss guys.
Yeah, they are exactly hit or miss guys. I don't know. I typically like the wide receiver better, but
I think I just like Miles Sanders just because of the running, like just handing them.
Give me Devonta Smith. Fuck it. I mean,
I think I'm
touchdown and 2 touchdowns the game before that. He's due for a no touchdown game.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning Miles Sanders here.
Oh man, yeah, it's so close. I'll go Devonta Smith. Fuck it, I'm still going Devonta Smith. AJ Brown had a great game last game. Maybe they try and stop him. Whatever. And is it PPR? Yeah, if it's full PPR, I think I'm definitely going Devonta. Jason, so you think Drake in London will be good in a few years? Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, his regular stat sheet ain't blowing up, but all the stats that do not show up in the stat sheet, are blowing up. Like his target share, targets per route run, all the other things that we look at when we're looking at some of these young guys, as far as to tell, like he's commanding targets, like. Even though there's not a ton of targets to go around there, so it doesn't look like that much. He's commanding targets at an elite rate. So
yeah,
I think over time, if they can find a QB that can throw the ball a little bit, him and Pitts, they're kind of in the same boat. I mean, they're just tremendous target hogs. So it's just a matter of getting somebody over there that can actually sling it a little bit. and you've got time for that to happen, especially when you're talking about, Dynasty. The guy is 20. Jake London is 21 years old. Like, you've got, there's no rush. You just can't expect him to just blow up and, go 1,500 yards next year. Like, so I think that's kind of, that's how I look at it anyway. But, and he's been a tremendous, catching the ball in traffic with guys fucking on him. He's taken a ton of hits over the middle and even on touchdowns where he's not afraid to get hit or go over the middle. And he's been good on his routes. He's getting separation. But what do you think about Drake London, Hammer? I think he's going to be an elite guy. He's a top 10 dynasty guy basically for me. But what do you think, Hammer?
Oh yeah, I already think he's an elite talent. And that's kind of what you look for. Not everybody is going to be Jamar Chase right away or Justin Jefferson right away. I think we tend to look at a lot of these wide receivers and see them kind of just burst on the scene and expect that to be every single one of these, first round wide receivers. So I think he's already been pretty good from what I've seen, just in terms of his ability to adjust to the NFL game coming out of USC. So I think that he's awesome. But I think the biggest thing you brought up was the quarterback situation. If the Falcons can listen, if Drake London was playing with Matt Ryan when Matt Ryan got drafted, we saw what Julio Jones was able to do with a Matt Ryan, that sort of stable quarterback that could just deliver the football accurately, then I think he'll be fine. But, I think he'll put up solid numbers. But if they find a franchise type quarterback, then I think the sky's the limit for that guy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just going back to Devonta Smith quick, and then even talking about just rookies. I mean, Devonta Smith had a great rookie season. Like, we tend to overlook it. He had 900 yards last season, I think.
Just inconsistent.
So he was solid last year. Now this year he's wide receiver 24, standard 21 PPR. So,
and that's with AJ Brown.
Back end wide receiver 2. But I think that's kind of what we expect. That's what we can expect from Devonta Smith. Just in general, he's going to be, a mid-tier, low end wide receiver 2 for pretty much, the rest of his career. And for me, I mean, that's a hit. If you have a wide receiver 2, like, you hit on that pick,
in a good offense like that.
That he's in a good offense. So, he's going to score, but again, it's going to be, up and down. And most players are up and down when you're not, that wide receiver 1 or RB1, it's going to be up and down. You're going to have good games. You're going to have bad games. So, Jason said he's out. All right, Jay, thanks for tuning in, brother. But yeah, other than that, I think we're wrapped up. You got anything else you want to talk about or throw in there, Hammer?
Nah, Packers still alive. That's all I can ask for.
All right, guys, we're out of here. We'll see y'all on Friday. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Don't forget, we got the Chua card going out for Christmas. Make sure you tune into the lives. Make sure you're subscribed. Just drop a comment, and you got an entry in there. So,
yes, sir.
More entries, more chance of you winning that card. Anyway, we out.